Hey everyone, welcome back to KL Tech Videos. Today we're diving into the world of network documentation and management with Netbox. If you're tired of spreadsheets and scattered notes, Netbox is the self-hosted tool you've been waiting for, but a lot of people seem to struggle getting this up and running. In this video, I'll be your guide through installing and setting up Netbox on not one, not two, but three different platforms. Although that's not entirely true, because I'll be doing Casa OS, Linux, and Windows. And as we all know, Casa OS is basically on Linux. It is Linux. So no matter your setup, by the end of this video, you'll have Netbox up and running, ready to document your entire network infrastructure. We'll cover the installation steps, database setup, and even some initial configuration tips to get you started. So whether you're a network pro or just starting your IT journey, stick around because this is going to be a good one. Let's get Netbox installed. So we're going to install Netbox on Casa OS, which is on Ubuntu. So we are kind of rolling two installs into one here, because if you're trying to install this on Linux, you just need to follow this exact same setup. Now, most people, when they come to Casa OS to install Netbox, or even Docker itself, but specifically on Casa OS for this function, they'd come to the App Store and type in Netbox. And then obviously you've got the option of just clicking install or custom install, but it never seems to work. And I see a lot of people on Reddit wondering why that is. And there's a lot of reasons for that. There's a lot of different configuration options that need to be met here, but there is a simpler way to do this. So what we're going to do is, if you go to the top here, terminal and logs, third button across, you're going to log in with the underlying operating system username and password. This is not your Casa OS username and password. This is the underlying Ubuntu or whatever Linux distro operating system that you have, unless of course you've got them as the same. And on here we need to do a few things. So the first thing we're going to do is just run sudo apt update. We're going to put the password in for our Ubuntu operating system, and that just gets our packages and repositories updated. We're also going to run sudo apt upgrade, just to make sure that we've got the latest things that we need to on there. And then all we've really got to do is the following, and I'm going to leave all these commands in the description below. But essentially what you're going to need here is this command. Now at this point in time, if you wanted to change the port that Netbox is installed on, you just need to change this left-hand 8000 port option here. So we can literally go to 9000 or 9999 if you wanted. Just anything you want needs to go in that box there. As long as you do not change the right-hand side, you'll be fine. Now I'm going to keep it the same default 8000. But again, you can change it yourself there if you choose. After that, we just need to hit enter and run that command. Now we just want to verify that everything's actually downloaded. And as you can see on Linux, it has automatically put us into the Netbox Docker directory. But if we run command ls, we will see all our files are there. And the all important one that we're looking for is our Docker Compose override YAML. And if we do it, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it just to double check everything. But if I do nano docker compose dot override dot YAML, yeah. So as you can see, it's already inputted those relevant compose formatted ports in for us, which is great. The next command we're going to run. And make sure you are in the Netbox Docker directory when we're doing this. Now, if I just come out of this directory, and say you're looking at the home directory like this, So we've just got the home directory. Just make sure we're in that directory. So I'm going to do change directory netbox dot hyphen docker, and it looks like that. So now we're going to do sudo docker compose pull, which will pull all the different files down from the repository that we need. Now, as you can see, the image is already pulled on some of these because I've already done this earlier on while I was testing this out. After that command, we can do docker compose up. And that gets us spinning things up. At this point in time, if you see all this text on your screen, we're good to go. This is working perfectly. Now we've just got to let it run its course. Okay, now do not be alarmed, by the way, where you get this netbox is unhealthy, right? That is perfectly normal because things are still spinning up in the background. Now, if you're following along with my video, at this point, you must give this 2 whole minutes to spin itself up correctly. You must do that because otherwise you will not get this to work. So give it 2 minutes exactly. I'm going to put a countdown on the screen. We're going to run that command, docker compose up, which we've just done. Just give it 2 minutes before we move on. Now, if you want to skip ahead in this video, go ahead. Skip 2 minutes. That's no problem at all. But give it 2 minutes in real life no matter what happens on your end. Now, if you're installing this on Linux without Casa OS, so you're just running the commands, say on your Ubuntu or your Debian, then you're going to want to run the next command as docker compose up -d without the quotes, as you won't be able to exit the script without closing the Docker containers otherwise. Then wait until all the containers show as started and healthy before running the next command. And for all other Casa OS users, just follow the video as shown. Okay, that's been 2 minutes for me, so let's try it again. And 2 minutes was just the perfect amount of time to get this running. So that's great. Now we can see the get login HTTP 200 log. Everything's working. Everything's up. Netbox is installed. But there is one last thing that we need to do, and that's create a user. To do that and to get this working, as you'll see, we can't actually enter any more text here, and I don't want to cancel out of the operation either. So all I'm going to do is close the terminal down here in Casa OS, open the terminal log again, put the password in, connect, and we're going to run this command, which we will need to enter our our password again. So we're going to get the server password from Vault Warden. I've got a really cool link in the description for Vault Warden, by the way, as well. So check that out. Oh, of course, we need to be in the Netbox directory, like I said at the beginning. So make sure we do change directory, Netbox netbox without the hyphen there, hyphen docker. Now we're in the directory, we can run that command. Here we go. And here we go. And all we've got to do at this point is just create a username, which I'm going to do KL Tech Videos. Email address, we'll just put example@example.com. And a password, which you should make really, really secure. Because you are going to be putting a lot of sensitive information in here. And that's it. We're good to go now. So if we open a new tab and we go to my Casa OS IP address, and then we put :port 8000 in, Netbox is up and running. Now, if we click login, we can log in with the password and username we just created. Oh, maybe we should get that password correct first. There we go. And we're in. And that's it. That's how you get Netbox installed on Casa OS, but also at the same time on Linux. So now I'm going to show you the same process, but for Windows. So if you're already done here, great. Go and enjoy Netbox. If you're a Windows user, stay tuned because we're about to do that on Windows now. Okay, so there's two prerequisites to the Windows install. Make sure you've got Docker desktop installed, which will come compiled with Compose as well. And we also need to install Git. All the links will be in the description below. So we're going to run the Git installation because I've already got Docker installed. And we're literally going to tick a few things on the desktop, check for daily updates, and new. Add Git bash profile to the Windows terminal. Going to go through here, use Vim, let Git decide. Git from the command line, also from third-party software. Internal bundled OpenSSH, OpenSSL. Yes. And we'll use Windows default console window. Everything else seems fine. Everything looks good. So just follow the same setup that I've done there. And if you're getting any errors as we go through, then just reinstall using the settings that I've provided. Okie dokie. The next step is to open the command prompt as an administrator, run as administrator, and make sure it is the command prompt that we are in. We want to change the directory. You pick anywhere on your computer that you want to install this to. I'm going to install it to my KL Tech Videos downloads folder. And then we're going to go ahead and run the first command, and all these commands will be in the link in the description below. Okay, so that's the GitHub repository copied in here, and that's netbox.docker, and you'll see all our files are here. Okay, so after we've copied the Git down, the Git repository, we're going to change directory into netbox.docker, -docker, netbox-docker. When we're in here, we're going to be able to create our YAML file. So we're going to copy this file in here, and this command rather, and enter. Now, if we go over to our download folder, whatever yours was, wherever you've installed this to, and we jump into netbox-docker, the file that we created just now is docker compose override.yaml. If we double click that, you will see this file, which is literally just like a compose formatted file, because essentially that's what it is. If you want to change the port number at this time, you can do so here. You can change the left-hand side column from 8000 to anything you like. Do not change the right-hand side column because that is what we need to get into the web server of this Netbox. So if you're running something on port 8000 and you feel like you want to change it to something else, like, I don't know, 8666, go for it. You can do that. There's no problem with that at all. And we'll save that like that. Once you're happy with that, the next command that we're going to run is going to be simple. It's going to be docker compose up, which will pull everything down. Now, it looked really fast for me, but that's because I've already done this in the past. So those images are still on my system. If you get all this text on the screen like this, just like on Linux earlier on, if you watched that part of the video, you know we're in the right place. Everything is running great. Okay, that's absolutely fine. And like earlier on, if you see dependency failed to start, container netbox docker netbox 1 is unhealthy, don't worry about it. That's absolutely perfectly fine. What we're going to do at this point is we need to give it the same 2 minutes we gave to the other in the Linux demonstration. When the countdown timer ends, just run docker compose up -d. Okay, and as you can see, we now have everything up and running. So as long as you gave it those 2 minutes approximately, you'll be absolutely fine, and you'll see everything that is running, started, or healthy. It's all green. The final command that we need to do is create our admin user. So for this to work, you need to make sure that we are in the netbox-docker directory, and then run this command. Again, all commands will be in the description below. And that lets us start with our username. So we'll do KL Tech Videos. Email is just anything, example@examplemail.com. Make sure it's a super secure password. You can have a lot of sensitive documents in here. And we're good to go. So if we go to localhost or whatever, or the IP of your machine, it doesn't really matter. 8000. This is not going to work because I just realized we did change the port number. What did we change it to? We changed it to 8666. So if you're using the default 8000, great. If you changed it like I did, go to 8666 because I changed it to that. And here we go. Netbox is installed. So if we log in, KL Tech Videos. Boom. Now, I've actually never used Netbox before. I saw this, the reason I put this entire video together is because I saw a comment on Reddit saying, how the hell did you get this thing to work? It's not working on Casa OS. So I just thought I'd do a double video here of how to install this on Linux, Casa OS, and Windows. I do certainly think I will be giving this a bash and having a good look at this, because it does look very useful. It's another self-hosted tool that I was introduced to today. And I just wanted to troubleshoot the problems of why some users couldn't get this working. So hopefully this video has helped you. If I can be of any further help, please leave a like and a comment in the description below. And subscribe to my channel, because that helps support my channel going forwards. And don't forget, I've got plenty of other videos on my channel right now that might interest you. So please give those a go. Thank you very much as always for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.